Can't read, can't write, can AI? We dumped we dumped a case of water bottles out to let Claude run some analytics on our mouth words, and the result? Plum's an idiot savant, and I'll be starting at the 5 next year. You're listening to Can't Read, Can't Write. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Can't Read, Can't Write, the podcast that proves Spartans can talk. I'm Mike Jones, joined as always by the guy who's the first to 40, Alex Plum, and still not by the zaddiest, Kevin Greck.
Zaddy.
How are you doing, Plum?
Great. I didn't realize that paternity leave, new parent leave rather, came with not being on the pod.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't we don't get paid. Well, not meaningfully. He's shirking. I want to be on record, and I'm saying this as someone, by the way, who shirks many weeks for no reason whatsoever. But we should all be offended by his behavior.
I'm offended. I'm offended that there wasn't really a check-in beyond. Are you guys doing it live? Which tells me
offensive.
He's here and watching right now.
We know he's not watching. We know that he couldn't be bothered with watching.
We of course want to thank everyone for listening, and if we could ask a small favor, please share the pod with Spartans in your life. Rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get podcasts. Of course, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Spartan_pod and on Blue Sky at SpartanPod. And hey, you know what? If you're watching this, or if you're not, go subscribe to that YouTube channel. It would actually mean a ton to us. Plum, we've got a couple games to talk about. What do we got on the outline this week?
We got games. Wow. We fed our outline into Claude, and Claude, my God, what it came back with. We're actually a NASCAR podcast now, and I don't even think NASCAR's in season, so we're in fucking trouble. It's got us fucked up. Well, we'll start off behind the green wall, and football will lead for the shortest of short updates. Before we talk about basketball, 2 games to recap this week, both of them W's, which we love to see. We will preview what's coming up. We're playing at Indiana and at Purdue, not in that order. We'll head off Grand River and mostly just to laugh at Mick Cronin before taking your social media questions.
Yeah, we'll have to decide game time whether we're going to do Mick Cronin in game or table him for a moment. But yeah, so we've got let's start with football because it is the sport that always leads. Punt God Part 2, Ryan Eckley as well as single year center Matt Golbin have both been invited to the NFL Combine. It seems safe to say that maybe a streak is forming for Michigan State in the draft. Again, we'll never get back to where we were, but it's good to see. Yeah,
I think it's great. Yeah, I also love 20 minutes ago. Apropos of nothing, Justin Thind, don't know how he says that. Not sure I care. I probably should. Just that our defensive line coach, Winston, I'm going to try to say it, Delatiboudir. Have you heard this name? Winston Delatiboudir?
I've not heard it enunciated before, so this is a first for me.
Delatiboudir. Anyway, Winnie, DL coach, 7 official visitors. I'm only mentioning this because I wanted to say the guy's name. Yeah, but 7 visitors is pretty great. You like that?
Love that. Yeah, he was the pickup from, I believe, the Cardinals. He was the NFL defensive line coach there.
That's right. And he goes by Coach DeBow. Delatiboudir. I guess they just Coach DeBow. So that's him, Coach DeBow.
Well, let's talk about the week that was.
Very good.
We've got 2 W's for Michigan State. We have a butt kicking against UCLA, and then today, a game that was far too close against Ohio State. But let's start with that UCLA game. Michigan State wins 82-59 this week at the Breslin Center. There wasn't anything that could go wrong in that game, I think is the easiest way to say it. Michigan State shot 52.7% from the field, nearly 52% from 3 with a season high in 14 3-pointers. And as Plum coughs it up here big time, the It is the first game it was the first game in 6 games that Michigan State had led at the half, which coincides with that losing streak that we'd been on, or not streak, but the batch of losses and then exclusively overtime wins during that 6-game stretch. So it was
not a pleasant statistic, but
No.
I guess one to break now. Better late than never.
Well, it was short-lived when we get to Ohio State. So
Fuck, you're right.
yeah. What were your takeaways from the game, Plum?
An easy game. I mean, this is a game. Poor, and we'll talk about Cronin, I guess, but in a little bit. But it was interesting. I mean, what the hell's going on at UCLA? You think like they should have no trouble recruiting some of the best guys. Who doesn't want to live in LA?
Sure.
And have a fucking full ride at a UC system school that generally is pretty well regarded for its sports program, apart from being fucking, I mean, I don't know if I would call it paradise, but from a young person's perspective, I would think this is where you'd want to be. And they play like ass. But let's not focus on the assery that is that program. Michigan State shot 52.7 from the field, 51.9 from 3, with a season high against UCLA of 14 threes. Really, really a striking performance, a striking evidence of what we're capable of, apparently, unless we're playing in Madison. I don't know how else you come off of that. Oof.
There were some things we love to see Jordan Scott continue to be fantastic. In this game, yet another game in double figures, 11 points with 3 boards and 2 assists. Picking up again, it seems like Scott's picking up a lot of the larger defensive assignments, which is encouraging. Fears, another strong game of 16 points, double, 16 points, 10 assists, and some Cohen Carr that we like to see with 16 points and 3 boards, 2 for 4 from behind the arc, which was also great to see, but given a big lift. Efficiency-wise, though, went 7-11 from the field.
Let's talk about Fears for a second.
Yeah.
Izzo thought this was one of Fears' best games. Fears went 16 points, 10 assists. It's good for Fears. It's obviously not his best scoring performance.
Sure.
And I think credit to Izzo here, because this is something that I've talked about in terms of consistency for Fears at points when it matters in games. And it isn't always about scoring. It's really about team leadership. We'll talk a little bit him reverting to the mean in the Ohio State game when it comes to his apparently his uncontrollable leg jolting into crotches, groins, and other appendages of opponents. But for now, Izzo said he played so under control, he didn't take bad shots. But this, I thought, was an important rejoinder. Despite this being what he thought of was one of his best games, Izzo says on Fierce, I'm still waiting for him to take over the team when they switch defenses. And I thought that was a striking comment, because I think this is something that we've been alluding to on this podcast, which is utterly Fears is the leader of this team.
Sure.
But he doesn't know how to be. And he certainly isn't, with any consistency, the leader of the team that they need him to be. That would be the leader who gets us to a Big Ten title, who gets us comfortably in a 1 or 2 seed and has a deep run in March. Fears isn't that guy
yet.
And because he isn't that guy, we just don't have that guy
yet. I mean, I think redshirt sophomore, right? Like, there's time.
Sure. Sure.
The some other interesting sort of moments in this game. Wojcik, I didn't realize got hurt in the moment. I thought his dad finally just had enough of him. But goes out mid-game with a...
He also was ejected by a coach, by his own coach.
But goes out with a shoulder injury, and they have Jordan Scott running the point, which...
wasn't worse.
You could tell they
wasn't worse than when Denham running the point.
Yeah, you could tell that they've never practiced it, though. And so... But... like if you told me later on that we've got a 6-7 point guard, I would not be upset about that.
Not at all.
So
not at all. Particularly if yours can't fucking mature. Jesus God.
The other,
can we just name this though? Because the defensive piece I think is one to call out here. UCLA's second leading scorer, Dent, held to 6 points. Both Fears and Scott were sharing the defensive assignment there as this game went over, and that does speak a lot of credit. Now that's not the same as team leadership, but it is certainly about court presence. It's about acknowledging and understanding the importance of key players, and eliminating the threat of key players is something that gets into a team's head. And UCLA has been so streaky, so spotty this season.
Yeah.
That just getting them a little bit fucked up when you've got that East Coast, West Coast swing. I mean, the narrative writes itself, and poor UCLA just couldn't fucking keep it going.
Well, and more to the point, it's not just holding him to 6, but his volume was still high. He went 3 for 11 from the floor. Like, that's a lot of empty possessions coming out of his hand. So, again, Jordan Scott picking up some of the biggest assignments. We should, I guess, talk about Mick Cronin here. I think we should just talk about it now. So Mick Cronin does something that I had never seen before. And the thing is, I have seen a coach eject a player before. It was Tom Izzo ejecting Paul Davis. I had never seen a coach eject a player like pre-officials. And so Mick Cronin ejects, what is it, Jamerson? Who we also found out on the broadcast had actually tried out to be a manager at Michigan State for the men's basketball team and was turned down. And so, first of all, I guess here, I'll say this. If there's a dude on UCLA's roster that is playing any amount of meaningful minutes and wanted to be a manager at Michigan State, and Tom Izzo said no, that's a miss.
That's a big miss.
So, let's before we get on Mick, let's take some medicine. Tom, you had a Division I basketball player, a Big Ten basketball player who just wanted to be a manager on your team, and you told him no. Now, wild. But so what happened? Go ahead.
Well, I think let's just hold an abeyance really quick. This is a UCLA Division I
still,
and I'm just saying, in Cronin's words, certainly not in the upper echelon. So I don't know. Maybe there's something there. I have to look up and see how many minutes actually Jamerson had in this game. But Izzo obviously 8 minutes. So I don't know. I mean, there's obviously something that Izzo, he went 2 for 3 from the charity stripe. That was his, and 2 board contributions after 5 fouls. Oh, wait. This is giving him 5 personal fouls. I thought you were ejected at 5. You ejected at 6 now?
That's actually, no, you definitely are ejected at 5, but I don't know. I wonder if the box.
Is that a miscount?
I'm wondering if the box
score's got him at 5. And if that's the case, then we've got a much ado about nothing situation here. Anyway, point being, who knows how good the guy actually was. To be clear, if he is getting any minutes at UCLA,
he could have been a manager.
He could have been a manager 100%. He could have probably walked on. He certainly probably plays ball better than Denim Wojcik.
Yeah.
That's a low fucking hurdle.
So anyway, we're up, I don't know, probably somewhere between, or in the neighborhood of 20 to 24. Carson Cooper has a breakaway for a dunk, and Jamerson comes behind and gives a hard foul that, Cooper immediately stands up and gets in his chest. And it happened so fast in real time, actually, in fairness to Mick, it seemed like a dirty play. But you watch the replay, he was going for ball.
He was going for the ball. It didn't, it was a breakaway. And again, all of this is contextual, right? It's a point differential. It's the stage in the game. The kids played 8 minutes. It's easy to read into that. He's the guy coming out to just put the hammer down. He's going to come in as the Sharks to try to fuck some guys up. It looks like that in real time. I got to say, one appreciates the virtue signaling. One always appreciates virtue signaling when it comes for the sake of safety, when it comes for the sake of doing the right thing, even when it's the unpopular thing.
Sure.
Cronin's got to get a handle on things. And I'm just going to say that the program that Cronin is running is not a good program. And he has to, what is the second, third season? How long has he been at UCLA? He's relatively new there, isn't he?
Third maybe.
And so he's got to figure out. Like, I get it takes a couple seasons to do some shit, but at a certain point, like, you got to have a couple guys who've been with you a few years now. Like, my lord, my guy, you got to get it together here. Ejecting your own dudes, you got to just take a breather. I don't know what you're. I mean, again, we don't know what's going on in the locker room. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Jamerson could be an attitude kid. He could have a whole fucking chip on his shoulder problem. Could be why Izzo passed on him. You know, this could have been like, we don't know.
But we do know Mick apologized publicly later, a few days later. So,
like he shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, that he shouldn't have ejected him.
So there you go. The guy seems, he runs hot. And I can appreciate that as one who runs very fucking hot for no reason most of the time.
But at some point in time, like, don't you... your job is to win. And there are officials there who...
It's their job.
Who will make a decision on whether he gets to stay on the court. Like,
I love Izzo saying, I guess he upgraded him to a flagrant too. That's just a good one-liner. It's just silly.
The other thing that happens is, this was the return of Xavier Booker.
Right.
And the Izzone at two different points, I believe was chanting, "We want Booker." And the second time around, Izzo put a stop to it. Though I think he genuinely was confused about whether this was ill-intentioned or not. And the Izzone had thus far been on such good behavior about Booker that I don't think that it was mean-spirited. Anyway, so Mick Cronin gets asked about this after the game in the tunnel by Matt Wenzel, reporter for MLive. And Mick Cronin proceeds to say that he doesn't give a shit about what the students are doing, that it was the dumbest question he'd ever heard in his life. And when Matt Wenzel proceeds to calmly reply that he thought it was relevant, Cronin accuses him of yelling at him and then does like very classic male gaslighting. He's like, it's on camera. We all heard it. And it's like, yeah, no, we did all hear it, Mick. And it was a very normal interaction.
Oh, no, I did not hear that. That's a guy who's gone overboard, who's got to probably you got to take a couple weeks off, my guy. You got to go touch grass and recenter yourself. What I love about this, can I just say, this is great, by the way. This is fucking awesome. That level of gaslighting is delicious.
I'm going to find the clip for you so you can pull it up.
I'm sorry, I was speaking. Please stop scream interrupting me. We all heard it. This is live. What I do love about his initial response to the question, and I love it when coaches don't want to answer a question, and so they just ad hominem right to the fucking reporter. God, it's delicious. But here's why I liked it. Because the question was kind of stupid, and I'll tell you why I think it's stupid. Asking coaches about opposing team student sections, it's clickbait. Some student sections can get in a team's head. Some can't. Some coaches have, I want to say things that I can't say. Some coaches are awful human beings.
Sure.
And go and sit in front of student sections so as to bait them for reasons that have, I don't know, have nothing to do with gameplay and have everything to do with their shortcomings of perceived masculine importance. I don't know how else to frame it. Dusty May is a bad person. Like, people that try to bait student sections are bad people. They're not focused on the right things.
Sure.
The things they're focused on are antics. They're gimmicky. It's just shitty. It's shitty human behavior. I just think about the coaches. Mike, could you imagine Mike? And I hate Mike Krzyzewski just on principle. Could you imagine Mike Krzyzewski?
No, he's above
that. Could you even
that.
imagine Rick Pitino?
No, they're both above that.
Because most people who take themselves seriously aren't thinking about the student section. And so Matt Wenzel, okay, guy, you have a job in sports media. Like, that's just, people would kill for that job.
I think it's a fair question.
And you're asking, it's not a fair question because it's irrelevant. It's stupid. Unless you're asking it because you want to make the point that Dusty May is a piece of shit, then that's fine. That's the thesis. If it isn't the thesis, it is irrelevant. Your team got crushed by 23, 22 points. We're not asking about the zone. No, it's not relevant. I'm sorry. My opinion.
I left the link for you in the chat, buddy.
All right.
The other game that was played this week was, of course, well, actually, I'm sorry. I want to call something else out that you've been saying for a while on the pod here.
Yes, give me credit for this, please. This is good.
So, you've been saying for a while that Jeremy Fears is inconsistent. He's consistent in his inconsistency, which I thought was crazy until did a little bit of digging on the numbers, and the UCLA game actually represents the first time that Jeremy Fears' efficiency numbers and his box plus minus moved in the right direction together. While his box plus minus is generally pretty good, his field goal efficiency has been, or effective field goal efficiency percentage is not been great. And so the UCLA game was the first time in a while that ended up being true. And so it's sort of something to monitor. Is this going to become more the norm, or are we going to continue to see an inefficient Jeremy Fears?
And that's what I meant. I didn't use those words. The avid listener will know.
Like effective field goal percentage or...
Right. Yes. Right. Well, I call it beats per minute. So really the idea that I have any fucking clue what box plus minus means in general is a full-on fallacy. But I do think the eye test is really where I'm able to offer, if any, substantive contribution to this podcast. It's there. And Fierce just is wildly why. I mean, and we'll talk about the antics, and we'll get into it when we get to Ohio State. But I did appreciate that sometimes the numbers do bear out, in fact, what I've been sniffing at and only using, again, my own ad hominem attacks on Jeremy Fears. So, I mean, I will say this, box plus minus does, what one should expect in general, in the aggregate, that your BPM and your efficiency metrics are going in sync, not all the time, but on average, because I assume box plus minus is taking into account efficiency. So right? On some,
if you defend really well and you distribute the ball and people score, then you're
going to have a better BPM, but you're going to have you could still have a shiv. Okay,
well, your effective field goal percentage is just a reflection of the number of shots you take. And so Jeremy Fears' volume was definitely rising in shots, but he was making up for it oftentimes by getting to the line. So he wasn't converting. So you weren't wrong about that, right? Like he was still putting up a stat line that was memorable and good, but the shots he was taking weren't going in. So,
and that has been my complaint, to be fair to me.
So Michigan State today beats Ohio State 66-60 at the Breslin in what was
inspiring no confidence, none.
Which was the Izzo Senior Day, also of note. So the Izzo seniors got to kiss the center of the court. Plum doesn't care about that?
No, I care about it. I just felt like this is the game where we're going to do that. Like, yucky. Too bad.
I didn't realize it was second to last home game was the thing. But
the last home game, I think, is what Izzo said, wasn't it? Isn't this it?
No, we got Rutgers at home.
Oh, so then I don't know. Is the Izzo not there? Because Izzo made some sort of comment about this was their last home game. The Izzo's last home game.
Yeah, sometimes I think...
Is he confused?
Tom, yeah, I think, I think that's... So, look, this was a tough one. I will just say, I would like to talk about officiating for a second, Alex.
It's not fair. Just go for it. You're going to talk about the worst official in the Big Ten.
No.
Worse than Teddy TV timeout fucking Valentine.
No, because it's not just him. So it was a crew of and the broadcast made sure to call this out at the beginning. So it was DJ Carson Kelly Pfeiffer,
who we love.
Generally speaking, a DJ fan, and then some guy I don't recall the name of, but they made a point of saying he's done many NBA finals. Longtime NBA ref. Okay,
Jason Phillips?
I don't know.
It's got to be.
I didn't recognize
I
the
just
guy.
looked it up.
Right. Anyway, point is, sometimes there are games that I don't care for the way that it's officiated, but this one, I'll just say I couldn't get the thesis of it. Like a well officiated game, you understand their point of view. You may not agree with the point of view, but you understand the point of view. This one I didn't understand. I did see Jeff Kohler, Jackson Kohler's dad, tweeted out, "Where's Paul Davis?" At one point in time, intimating, of course, that someone should be saying some things about the mothers of these officials. Couldn't agree more when Jackson Kohler fouled out in what seemed to be a very clear up and down vertical play, but it's neither here nor there. I would just say it did feel like at times we got disrupted by some of the calls. And in fact, Jackson Kohler got 3 fouls in the first half. Tom Izzo, in a rare instance where he sent someone in with 2 fouls in the first half, and then, of course, took a victory lap for his own decision, saying, "See, when all of you complain about me people putting in or auto benching people at 2 fouls, look what happens." Anyway, I do think it's sort of worth mentioning, but yes, you're right. Kelly Pfeiffer was there, and he's the worst. That said, let's talk about the actual game, because Michigan State still did plenty of their own things to cause problems. And it started with Bruce Thornton, who is a very accomplished point guard, despite the fact that he's never made the NCAA tournament, putting up a hell of a game with 32 points, going 12 for 22 from the floor, 2 for 8 from behind the arc, and 6 for 8 from the line. But as your point guard, he only got 2 assists. And that's not quite what you want out of your point guard, I don't think.
Not at all, it turns out.
But this was one where so Bruce Thornton, 4th-year player, maybe 5th, I don't know, played 40 minutes in this game. And at times it was Kurtang on him. At other times, most of the time it was either Fears or Scott. And it definitely felt like the difference between an older player and younger players in this one. And Bruce Thornton is the reason he scored more than half their points.
32 points.
Out of their 60. Like,
it's egregious. It's insane. I mean, we can't defend him? I mean, this was a question for me. This was just an apocalyptic defensive failure. The guy isn't God. At a certain point, you have to just start doubling up on the motherfucker and force the other guys to shoot. Like, what's going... And this is what I'm saying. Like, you can't be down at the half again at home on senior... Like, I just don't... And this is what I'm saying. Like, so let's go to Fears for a second. Because come back to the leadership question. It's the game dynamic situation. Couch gives a lot of credit for the 4 second half assists that were kind of key in the decisive run that we had to reclaim the lead and then maintain it for the balance of the game. In Couch's read on this, the assists are more consequential than any scoring outburst from Fears. And at 11 points, this is a pretty rough night for Jeremy Fears. Okay, thank you. Great. 4 assists. I love context. I love the contextual moment. I love giving it all the credit and doffing the cap to it. And if this is it, if those 4 assists were that's what we're gonna hang our hat on. Thank you, Jeremy Fears. How about just doubling up on Thornton? Triple cover the fucking guy. I don't know at a certain but I just am saying 32 points. Gentlemen. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Bad basketball.
Some good things, though, out of this game that
that we didn't have to win in overtime.
Yeah, well, there's that.
Though we were losing at the half. Okay.
Carson Cooper has a career high, finishing with
double
20 points, 11 assists. And look, he scored some timely buckets that were like 15 footers,
11 rebounds.
What did I say? I'm sorry.
Assists.
Oh, yeah, sorry. 20 points, 11 rebounds.
Right.
And a number of 15-foot jumpers that were super freaking timely. And if we get that Carson Cooper to continue through the remainder of the season, that's a big deal for this team. We know he's capable of hitting 3-point shots. I'm less concerned about that. If he's able to hit these jumpers consistently, big deal for Michigan State.
Well, it's big, but then the other question is Kohler. I mean, Kohler is another one at 10 rebounds. This is a great night on the boards for both of these two big guys.
In only 17 minutes, by the way.
In only 17 minutes because he's not fucking shooting. He's got 9 points. Well, this kid was 1 point away from another double-double in this game, in a game that we should have handedly won. This is my point. Like, these are not opponents for whom shooting should be that difficult.
So Kohler was plus 15 in his 17 minutes.
That is an indictment on the balance of the team. Let us not read that as something to be impressed by. We know because, and I say this because we know what Kohler is capable of. Oh, knowing what he's capable of in shooting. 9 points, 10 rebounds in 17 minutes with a plus 15. Giggity.
I will say this, though, Plum.
I know, the 2 fouls.
Well, no, I mean, he fouled out in the game. So, I mean, but
I know.
The 4 for 8 from the field, with 1 for 4 from behind the arc. I'm going to set the 1 for 4 to the side for a minute.
Okay.
That means not Carson Cooper. Jackson Kohler was 3 for 4 from the paint.
Yeah.
Need more of that out of Jackson Kohler. Like it for a while, it's felt like he's been timid, and I will look 8 shots in 17 minutes. I will take. And doing some of that work in the paint is also pretty great. Another
area of improvement, we had the opponent score fewer points on our turnovers. We didn't get to this statistic. We had 14 turnovers in the UCLA game, on which UCLA converted into 17 points on those 14 turnovers. The Ohio State game, we had 10 turnovers, so better by 4, and we only gave up 8 points on them. Oh my God. Double-digit turnovers has become a consistent malady among this program and is further evidence of, I mean, let's just look into the fucking numbers. How many of these turnovers can we attribute to Fears? Oh, yeah. 4 of them. Christ. I'm going to look up how many he had on the fucking game against UCLA.
I don't think it was
I don't think it was
that bad in UCLA.
Back to the efficiency question. Back to the beats per minute. No, he only had 1.
Yeah, generally speaking, Fears is not the turnover problem. Generally speaking.
Oh, well. Yeah, well.
Yeah, 10 assists to 1 turnover in the UCLA game.
I know, that's fine, but I want to make...
You're like a raptor testing the fences right now.
Please don't confront me with facts. I'm angry.
But look, you do bring up the first half problems, though. In particular, we tend to I think we have more of these turnovers early in the game. This team isn't shooting the ball well enough from behind the arc at this point in time to keep digging these fucking shallow graves for themselves. In the OSU game, I mean, it was abysmal. From behind the arc, shot 11% in the first half, 1 for 9, 3 for 13 in the second half, ending the game 4 for 22. And I think that's probably a lot closer to the truth about this team at times than what we saw in the UCLA game. So you got to take care of the ball. And this would made it now 6 of the last 7 games that Michigan State has trailed at the half. So they got to button it up because you got 2 big road games coming up here, and and Mackie has been a house of horrors for this team. Got to play a lot better. Let's talk really briefly about the play that was reviewed for a flagrant on Jeremy Fears.
Yes.
That seemed about as non of a foul as is possible. He was pushing off to do a fadeaway jump shot while getting fouled. That didn't look remotely like a kick to me. But it's Fears, so it's going to get looked at. I think the refs made the right call on that, but he's made this reputation for himself.
Yeah, I'm with you on this. I think this is an issue that he's going to have to continue to deal with. It's certainly an issue that coaches are going to continue to harp on. Izzo's already made the point.
Yeah.
It's now self-fulfilling. So this is something this guy, he's a young person who gets to live into a reputation that has been handed to him because he has, for better or worse, acted like a piece of shit, unnecessarily, uninvited, for the team captain, running the point. Fuck. Context matters. So broken clock's going to be right twice a day. Brad Davison wasn't always guilty of being a piece of shit. But when he was, God, you knew it.
Well, he was guilty and is guilty of continuing to be a piece of shit, but I get your point.
Yes, it's true. Yeah. No, I'm just looking at the play. That's nothing. That was nothing.
It was nothing.
That's nothing. No,
but
yeah, they're going to continue to look at it.
Right.
No, they're going to always look at it. There can be no question about it. And
I guess if someone gets hit down there, you should probably look at it. Right.
Yeah. I don't know. From where the official's standing, it is a little bit of it's all about angles. And this is the thing with refereeing. It is literally a game of angles. Where you're looking there, he is off kilter, and from the back, it doesn't look like anything. And from the front, you have to ask, why is his leg kicking forward between guys' legs if he's falling? Now, of course, he's falling backwards. That's why. It's a balance thing.
Right.
But you can't see him falling backward, and you're looking from the front. You just see the foot in between the legs, and you're going to ask the question. So, and then you put on top of it, it's the number one kicker. So, oops. I don't know.
I think hopefully more time passes. We get through the remainder of the season without issue. And then next season starts afresh.
Well, it's 100. It's fully possible. It's fully possible.
I do think the biggest thing I took away from this game, though, is Jackson Kohler foul trouble is big problem for Michigan State, and needs to get. I genuinely think this was a poorly officiated game, but either way, that doesn't matter from the perspective of what we should be taking away, which is that I don't think anyone really questioned what Jackson Kohler's value was, but seeing him not on the court for that extended period of a time, and then in the second half, starting the second half with 3 fouls, you now are playing defense differently because you don't want to get in foul trouble again.
Yep.
I guess last note, unless you've got anything else, Plum, on these games.
I don't know.
Okay.
Fears can't shoot from the 3. Kohler can't shoot from the 3 when he's out on a foul. Who can shoot from the 3? Scott sometimes.
Dude, what did Scott
Cooper,
and
meh.
We didn't even mention Scott really in this game, but 4 for 7, 1 for 2 from behind the arc, 12 points, 4 boards, 3 assists, 1 block.
Just going to say it. Just think about what this team is able to accomplish if Divine Ugochukwu is still playing for us. That's for me that's where it smarts the goddamn most.
But you know what? I'll say this. Jordan Scott playing 31 minutes, I'm not mad about. We love a Jordan around here. And so,
pro Jordan. This pod is pro Jordan.
Yeah, very pro Jordan.
Scott.
It's a disgusting level of devotion that we have to Jordan. But look, more minutes. He seems to be getting more comfortable in the role, and maybe that's the thing that translates into this team finding a new level. Is when Jordan Scott really cements himself into that role.
Yep.
Let's do a couple previews, but real quick, worth noting, both Jeremy Fears and Tom Izzo have been added to Naismith Trophy watch list. Tom, obviously, for Coach of the Year, and Fears for Player of the Year. So worth.
That's one of the stupidest fucking things I've ever heard in my entire life. Jeremy Fears, are you fucked? Like, get fucked. And this is what I'm saying. This is why Walter Camp. It's only Walter Camp. I don't care about the sport. It's just Walter Camp. It's the only word we pay attention to, because the rest of these and these watch lists, the people who come up with these watch lists should be doxxed. I don't know how else to say it. It's insane. Jeremy, just look at his performances and then tell me, not because he's a kicker, but because he's not efficient. He's not good. I mean, he's better than most, but he's not elite. He's not Naismith. Christ.
I mean, he is distributing the ball at elite levels.
He can eat my ass. It's the stupidest thing I've heard today. It's the stupidest thing I've heard today.
All right. We're going to continue the trend of negging players to greatness.
I'm insufferable. Why do people listen?
Let's chat Purdue. We've got this coming Thursday. They're number 7 on Torvik, 22-5 on the year. Torvik's giving Michigan State a 25% chance of winning this game. On offense, I believe they're number 2 nationally. On defense, 26th, with an adjusted tempo that's
good. We couldn't defend a guy who shot 32 fucking points. Let's see how they do against the number 2 offense. This is going to be a goodie.
Are they really number 2? And I'm like shocked by this. Yeah, they're number 2 on offense, according to Torvik. But
no tempo though. Just slow.
At number 293, one of the slower teams in the country. And it'll be interesting.
The slowest?
No, there's like 360 some teams, or 300. There's some 300 some.
Right.
But it'll be interesting to see if MSU's able to get a break going in this game. Unlikely. They also have an excellent point guard in Braden Smith, who is not probably having the senior season that he wants to have, but is the all-time Big Ten assist leader, passing Cassius Winston earlier this year. They're number 6 in assist rate. They rarely get to the line, which is kind of interesting, Plum. Number 323 in free throw rate. So who do you guys need to know? We've got Braden Smith, senior, 6-foot primary point guard. Trey Kaufman-Wren, senior, 6'9", super high usage on the interior. New name, Daniel Jacobson. I think he was there last year, but we didn't really see him play. 7'4"
How did they get these 7-foot motherfuckers? It's just impressive. Are they homegrown?
I think.
Is it HGH? They just pump it into the breast milk? How does it work in Indiana?
I'm fairly certain Matt Painter has a basement that's not.
Yeah,
it's not great.
It's not great.
And of course, we have Fletcher Lawyer, Foster's brother, who's also a senior. They're
still playing
an old team.
Fletcher Lawyer's fucking 36 or something at this point, isn't he?
I do believe we've managed to shut down Fletcher Lawyer every time we played them, but just something to note. So I think open questions here. Can MSU generate anything in the half court? And they're playing against a defense that doesn't tend to foul. We score 22% of our shots in transition, which puts us number 2 nationally, but you're probably not going to get any of that over the course of your time with Purdue. And you called out earlier Izzo's quote about Fears taking advantage of switching.
Yep.
Matt Painter, historically, other than when he has 7'4" oafs on his team, likes to switch defensively. Can Fears find a matchup here and take advantage?
Can he read it? Yep.
I think this is the chance for a big one. Are there any other keys from this game that you're seeing?
This is going to be a question for Kohler. I mean, they asked this question with this Trey Kaufman-Wren either going to be guarded by Cooper or Kohler, and this is going to be a question around, again, shooting efficiency. Kohler's been 3 for 11 from the 3 across the last 3 games. 1 3 a game is not quite what we want to see fouls notwithstanding. So for me, the question for him is how does he play a physical, aggressive Michigan State style of basketball that's not unrestrained, that's not too restrained that you're not unnecessarily risking fouls,
Sure.
but that you're contributing meaningfully in a defensive way, which you're going to have to do because Christ knows the team can't defend shooters. So this is an important concept, but he's still got to be able to get back on the offensive board, and he's got to be able to put it up from three. This is I'll say this. Kohler could be the key to this matchup. A productive, efficient, engaged, defensively minded Kohler, a Kohler playing at his best. Doesn't even probably have the best game of his night, but if he's really producing, this is certainly what's going to keep Michigan State in it. Could be what wins us the game. So I'm all in on Kohler on this. And I've been all in on Kohler this whole fucking season. I'm hard on him, but I actually like him the best of any player that's currently playing on this team. And I think that win against Purdue goes through Jackson.
It'd be great to pick one up at Mackie. We also have Purdue. Not Purdue. Indiana. Sun forks down today. Forks down tomorrow, and certainly forks down on March 1st.
Forever.
Indiana's currently sitting at number 30 in Torvik, 17-10 overall, 8-8 in the Big Ten. Torvik has this a 50-50 game, but
that is embarrassing for us. I know it's because we're playing in Indiana that I think that's the reason for the 50-50.
Yeah.
But goose.
Particularly since we already beat them. Just as a quick reminder, this is a really good mid-major team. And
we're 50-50 at losing to. It just says everything about the state of this program.
Yeah. I think something that's different this time around, though, is Jordan Scott's emergence and what factor he'll be. I'm guessing he'll be on Wilkerson, who's their 6'6" primary scorer. You'll also remember Tucker DeVries is the coach's son, big-time shooter as well. Indiana is shooting 51% of their attempts from three, which is number 10 nationally. So guarding the arc, which we did not do well against Wisconsin, is going to be a huge deal in this game. And I guess to your point though, Plum, Indiana's 3-10 in quad 1 and 2 games.
So I'm saying,
so for this being 50-50, this is a good road win, and we should pick it up.
Yeah, especially when they've got their fucking coach's son starting. Goose. I know he's a shooter. I know he's decent, but it's just still so gross. I never root for coaches' sons unless their name's Steven Izzo, and even he never started. My Lord and my God, the kid didn't start one fucking game. Admittedly, because he wasn't good enough to, but that's my point, and I just can't. It's the nepotism. Oh, God.
You knew who had a lot of sons on his team? Fran McCaffrey.
So many sons. Adopting kids, naming them as sons.
He tried to adopt several of his players, and they're like, no.
The number of Nigerian sons, it's upsetting. Really problematic.
So I think just this is a big week. It's 2 games on the road, and I think that's reflective of how Michigan State needs to think about being able to perform in adverse environments. Again, we
100%.
talked about last week how Big Ten title's done, right? We're not getting it. So these games are important for how you set yourself up mentally for executing when we get to the dance. And so you come back from this 2-0, and I don't care how ugly they are, and I don't really care about the halftime split. Show me some balls. And I think that's where we're at.
That's all it is. And I think, someone asked us last week, the run out of the season, we had 6 games when we were asked questions last week. Of the 6, which 3 would we drop? Well, we didn't drop either of them. It was almost the Ohio State game. I think there's a strong opportunity for us to lose at Purdue. And there's certainly a strong opportunity for us to lose at Michigan, just given all else being equal. And 2 out of 6, dropping 2 out of 6 against those teams, the results are not bad. But I have to say, knowing what the program is capable of and knowing what our players are capable of. Again, I'm just going to say it again. Kohler comes to play in a meaningful way, and Fears can manage the defensive transitions. We will beat Purdue at Mackie. Indiana should not be a slog. Rutgers is a known. And honestly, you come on those three, and the last game of the season is at Michigan. Fuck you, Dusty May. We're sweeping the whole last 6. And that would feel fucking great.
Sure.
And these guys can do it. We've seen them do it. Michigan just lost to Duke. We know how Duke plays. And so I'm just saying, we've been competitive. So this is what I'm saying. It's a completely doable thing.
Yeah.
It starts this week, and it starts at Purdue. To get beaten by Purdue, even at Mackie, in a bad way, is a demoralizing position that we shouldn't be in, because that's something that could carry through in a negative way. So, I don't know. Those are my couple of thoughts on that.
I that's a good call out, because there is something about Mackie that hurts.
Yeah.
And I think the fact of the matter is it's a boogeyman for Tom Izzo, and somehow I don't think he shies away from that with his team, and they need to show the resiliency and fortitude to go get that W.
100%.
Plum, do you mind doing a little ad read while I clear the throat for a second?
Yeah, go ahead and do that little loogie. Folks, if you are ever in the old Grass Lake, Clear Lake area off 94 in between Ann Arbor and Jackson, and you're feeling a little peckish, fuck, you could be starving. You could have been hibernating, and you've woken up and you haven't eaten in months. There is but one place, in any, within, 40, 50 mile radius that you should be eating at. That's Mama's Mercantile and Eatery. It's a place where homemade ingredients come together in a delicious culinary consortment of eating. Oh, Lord God. At Mama's, you'll find many of the Michigan-made products featured on their menu, allowing you to bring a piece of their kitchen to yours. This is a place that's known for simple fare. It's things like burgers and pizzas, and they make a mean salad. And but then they can also really cook, and you get a nice cut of meat, and you're going to really enjoy how it's thrown up on the grill for you. You've
Chile
got
Verde is fantastic.
Great desserts. The Verde is great. You got cocktails. You got to go for the cocktails. They really know how to make up a drink. Weekend brunch. Listen, the three of us have eaten there for every conceivable meal, and it's fucking great. So whether you're dining in or you're ordering online, head over to Mama's. If you're going in person, 4450 Clear Lake Road in Grass Lake, Michigan. You can visit them at mamasmerc.com for menus. Online ordering is more. Come as a guest. Leave as family. And if you tell them we sent you, you can take 10% off. Unless we beat Purdue, and then you can take 98% off your bill. You can tell them we sent you.
All right. I don't think we have anything off Grand River this week.
I wanted to just doff the cap to the men's and women's hockey teams.
I'm sorry.
US of A.
I'm sorry. We forgot to mention beating Notre Dame in hockey. And then it's not on the outline because it just ended a little bit ago.
This was a gag. By the way, dear listener. We were going to off-grid over the men's and women's hockey team and not talk about MSU hockey, and we actually did.
Well,
so that's great.
I also want to shout out the women's basketball team, because they just went on the road to Minnesota, got, I believe, a 10-point victory. Minnesota's ranked number 23, but is like number 8 in the net. Huge win for the Lady Spartans. So anyway, but
just Spartans.
Now
just happen to be ladies.
Now hockey. All right. Okay. Look, I was being inclusive.
I like to do that because I do that all the time. I call them Lady Spartans, so it's offensive when I don't. Okay. Hockey was great. Listen, our friend Tara played women's hockey when we were at Michigan State.
Mm-hmm.
If you'll recall this, women's club hockey was an varsity, and I don't think it still is a varsity sport. It was a club sport, but it was then too. And I spent more time than I care to admit at MUN watching women's hockey than I was watching men's hockey. But not that I care to admit, frankly, because they were fun games and a very beautiful environment of supporters. And you got to know them because it was small, and you got to scream. And voracious drinkers, I should say. Maybe you might call them problem drinkers today. Not sure. Life of the party, though. And God, I could tell you stories about parties hosted by the women's hockey team at Michigan State. So I've always rooted for women's hockey. And watching the women, I was getting my haircut in the third period on Thursday and got to watch it. And I was just dumbfounded. Watched some of the second period and then almost all the third. Dumbfounded by the shooting consistency of the women's team and their fucking to score. I was irate. I was yelling. It may be why I've got large tufts of hair missing from integral parts of my head because I kept jerking as I was screaming at the television. But it takes ovaries of steel to pull the goalie with, I think there were 2 minutes left on the clock when they pulled her.
Yeah.
And to get the equalizer in short order was fucking delicious. And then I think what everyone thought in real time was a 5-hole for the go-ahead gold medal was actually right over her, the goalie's pad. But still, a great fucking shot. Juke's a defender. Hockey is, it's great. And growing up in Michigan, when we did, and certainly with the Red Wings playing the way that they did when I was like 10, 11, 12 years old, cemented the importance of hockey as, one of the key sports that I would root for forever in my life. I'm deeply grateful for that. And getting to see the women and then the men take home some meaningful hardware is great. So
yeah, you were before we were recording, you were talking about how you really admire Sergei Fedorov and his stance on dating.
Just Konstantinov. Konstantinov, who can't say anything bad now.
And
so
and Andrew Tate, you said you're a big fan of Andrew Tate as well.
And the men also won. And we're happy for the men, for they also won. They didn't come from behind, though. They did get the go-ahead in the overtime, but they were equalized upon. So, sorry to Canada. I have to say, this has got to be a comeuppance to them.
For cheating.
Can't cheat at curling. Can't cheat at curling. It will follow you, and it did.
It will
poor motherfuckers.
Haunt your fealty to another kingdom.
Yep. But here's the only question. I think there was some lesbian heated rivalry action on the women. One of the, I guess it was cross sport though. One of the lady hockey players proposed to another lady that was an Olympian of potentially another sport. They're engaged. Congratulations to them. Looking for the gay dudes in the hockey. So please advise.
I don't think the politics on the men's hockey team are going
not quite
to work out for you there,
not
buddy.
Quite there.
Should we do these? Should we do these social media questions?
Let's do them.
All right,
let's do them.
First up, listener Mike Jones. Alexa, play Freebird. Suck it, Canada. Love beating Canada on the world stage in men's and women's hockey.
I'm happy we won. I don't have the schadenfreude over Canada. I like Canada. I sing their national anthem a lot. I root for them generally.
When do you sing their national anthem?
I've done it on the pod. I do it in the car.
The shower from time to time?
Often. I do it often enough that Jason asks me to stop with some regularity.
You've woken him up with it before?
I think I did once.
Next up from Mike Jones, 22-5 with a team full of guys who have noticeable flaws. This is clearly one of Izzo's best coaching jobs, right?
Don't ask him about it. He'll tell you it's absolutely not. I think Ohio State, he took on the fucking chin. I think he called a team meeting just so he could lambaste himself in front of them all. So, but this is why we love Izzo. This is exactly why we love Izzo, because he's more interested in getting it right, following his style, perfecting his approach.
Yep. By
contrast, you've got chodes who are out there trying to bait the student fucking section. So, I don't know. Call me old-fashioned.
Next from Mike Jones. I've watched a lot of basketball. I'm sure we all have. Have you ever seen a coach eject his own guy? Mick is a crazy dude. It was a first.
Asked and answered. Yeah. It's insane. I've never seen it. I've seen it in soccer. I mean, I've seen, coaches pull off their guys. I will say this just because it's apropos of nothing here. I had a game. I would have been pretty young in high school, still refereeing. And I had a game that was like a Premier Select game. It's like definitely, even for me at that point, like I'm refereeing kids that are about my age, maybe just a year younger than me. They're very good. I'm still coming up. So it was like early in my day. And I remember had gotten some mentorship. And there were times when you already had a guy on a yellow card and you're like, he's losing his cool and he's going to get a second yellow. And I remember watching a mentor at one point go over to a coach and kind of be like, hey, letting you know, you got a problem with number 8. So You want to deal with it? I don't have to. And a lot of coaches would kind of like, thank you, appreciate it. I'm going to take him off. This was a Flint, what was their? It was Genesee Stars and Flint something. I can't remember the name of the team. You don't care. No one cares. But it was a Flint travel team. And the coach of it, a guy named Ken Kofke.
No one cares about that either.
Okay. Anyway, his kids played soccer with me. I knew him, I'd known him forever. He probably coached me at one point. And I go over to him and I say, you got a problem with 8 or whatever. He's already on a yellow card. And he looks at me, he's like, that's your problem, not mine. And I was like, noted. And within the next 3 minutes, double yellow card, red carded his ass off. And as soon as he started to protest about it, I was like, I just gave you the opportunity. So anyway, just saying, one can appreciate when coaches, follow the advice from the officials. And when you're given an opportunity to do the right thing, but you don't want to. So anyway, Mick overreacted.
He did. I wonder how much of it is about respect for Izzo, too. Because that does seem to be pretty sincere. Though I think Mick Cronin fancies himself a Tom Izzo. And buddy.
Not working out. Not working out. All right, next up, MSU realist, Michael. Do you think with how poorly this team is shot and played as of late, outside of the UCLA game, that there might be some shooting confidence woes? Every possession is the exact same. Pass again, penetrate, get, shut off, shot, chalk. Nobody looks to score, seemingly.
I don't think there's many guys who can create their own shot on this team, which is why they need to create it through ball movement. Yep. And I will say that there were some things. I finally saw Cohen Carr take an offensive foul this game, and I enjoyed that. I celebrated that.
He's the one guy who probably can with any regularity. And in fact, I was just looking when I was like, as soon as that question, I was like, wait, why haven't we talked about Cohen Carr today at all?
And honestly, I thought the offensive foul call was kind of soft. They should have just. I think it would have been fine with a dude. You got bulldozed. Sorry.
Yeah, it'll happen.
But I think that's part of it. But I also think that we saw some of that even with Tyson Walker here. I just don't know that that's not part of the DNA of Izzo half-court offenses. So, though, I think we talked about the last couple episodes, or maybe it was a couple episodes ago, that it seemed like maybe Jackson Kohler was losing some of his own confidence. Or maybe his teammates were losing confidence in him, because that did seem for a while to be someone that they just would throw the ball to, whether it was behind the arc or on a pick and pop or just down low. That seems to have faded. Yeah. Next up, McHammer Legos. Heard an MSU fan say Fears is transferring because Izzo and him don't get into it during games anymore. What causes people to have insane thoughts and just spout them as facts? Plum, this feels ripe for you.
I was like, was it me? Was I the MSU fan? It could have been me.
Though you don't think Fears is transferring.
I don't think Fears is transferring, but I will go out of my way to defend insane and outrageous takes. The reason is because we are mentally ill. What do you think? Following Michigan State for the number of years that we have has bred some sort of mental stability for any of us? You're out of your fucking mind, McHammer Legos. Your name is as unhinged as this shit you hear me and this imbecile MSU fan saying. You can't worry about the things we say. You have to look past them. Okay, this is the Trumpian post-truth, post-fact reality.
Well, they come from a place of love and deep abuse.
Deep fear.
Abuse.
Deep fear. It's just this, but please, we have one good thing. Why do you think I come so hard for Jeremy Fears? The kid is on the cusp of being really probably one of the best point guards with real fucking runway to do some shit at this school.
Yeah.
And so it's infuriating to not see him live up to the things that I want for him. And I don't want them for him. I want them for him for me and for all of us and for the things it says about me. And it says nothing about me, or maybe in that sentence it says everything about me. So no. We can't we can't have to think about this too hard. Or I would go back and get a degree in psychology and then let us know. Next up, the Keith Ski. Michael, Jordan Scott is 6'7" and has not attempted a dunk all season. Why?
That's an interesting question because Kerr Tang attempted one, I believe, this game, and that didn't go very well.
I didn't see that.
Oh, yeah.
How did I miss that? Fuck.
Well, so I think part of it is that Scott has been doing what you want a freshman to do, which is that he's sat in the corner where he's supposed to sit. And we talked about like Trey Holloman as a freshman point guard. The reason that he got on the court was he didn't do anything stupid.
That's it. Alarm. Ding, 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 ding. Bells.
But unfortunately, we're in a place where I need Jordan Scott to do some things that are stupid.
And I think the answer to this question though is Izzo. I mean, that's the answer to this question.
Yes, but if we're going to hit our ceiling this year, at some point in time, you need to say, Jordan, you're our 2 guard. Go make some plays.
Yeah.
And you need to, I was listening to Jeff Kohler talk on maybe it was Sheehan's podcast. Maybe it was Couch in the Room. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where to hear it. But like that Jackson, when he came in, he had all of these moves as a freshman. And they were like, no, you're done with that. You're going to do 1 hook. That's all you're going to do.
Interesting.
And so they, so I don't know what Jordan Scott could be. And I don't know that he's strong enough. Like we've seen at times, like Thornton, like if someone didn't watch the game today, Thornton is put together. He's a built dude. And he's probably 4 to 5 years older than Jordan Scott. Like,
6 even.
So there's, I just think Scott's doing what he's supposed to do. The next question from the Keithski, which seems like we're on a theme here now, Plum. Why does our offense suck?
I mean, I don't know if it's our offense. I mean, our offense is not. Listen, I've talked about Divine Ogachukwu. That's an issue. We're not getting the kind of consistent backup scoring. We talked all the death about Kohler. Cooper's got more to do. I mean, I appreciate 20-point night. That's great. Ohio State, still not the team I'm really fucking that impressed by, though it was a close game. Fears gets streaky, but he distributes. It's a team issue, so that's true. But like the Ohio State issue is at least the closeness. I guess you're not asking about why we don't win enough games. That's a different question. You're asking why does our offense suck? And our offense sucks because we refuse to shoot. And we can't. I think, Michael, you actually said it a minute ago. We are not good at creating the opportunities for our own shots. And as soon as you get a defensive team that's able to kind of read up our own transitions and get in the way, because I bitch about ring around the rosy all the fucking time. The pass, back to the point guard, juke in, pass around again until nothingness. And then it goes back to Fears, who's got to make an awkward 2 that just is fucking bricked. We struggle to create that. And I think Ogachukwu had some more skill at it. When Kohler's good and is shooting with any reliability from the 3, it opens up the paint a little bit to allow us some of that penetration. And Cohen is very good at that. So we don't have some of the position players that we need right now in those spots that can open it up. And that's going to continue to portend some kind of awfulness for us.
Yeah, could you imagine Jeremy Fears being able to play with Tyson Walker?
Oh.
And I'm not even picking like the best 2 guard that I've ever seen. I'm just talking about, hey, he could create off the dribble. Like Tyson Walker was somebody like, oh shit, there's 5 seconds left on the clock. Let me just give the ball to him and he'll figure it out. But Jeremy Fears has kind of got some of that to him too, right? Like, I mean, we just don't have that right now. Next up, Powdered Toastman. Plum, how come Cash Patel didn't celebrate with the Spartans after their win against Ohio State?
Did you see this?
No, I don't know what this is in reference to.
Okay, so apparently Cash Patel was in Italy.
Oh, okay.
And was in the men's hockey locker room celebrating with them on their victory, while
as I mentioned, their politics.
Well, but more importantly, while like the press is asking the like press officer or whatever at the Department of Justice, like where's the FBI director right now? On work. Yeah, he's on a business trip. He's on a work trip. Okay, are you sure he's not in Italy celebrating the Olympics? Absolutely not. Work is a professional. Cash Patel is a professional. He would never do that. He's on business. And then there's Cash with his phone up and a fucking bottle of champagne up his ass. one eye looking off into the middle distance and the other one, I don't know, crossing the bridge of his fucking face. God, what a bad person.
Next up, Mr. Neurotic Pants.
Didn't answer the question. Not, I guess, because he was too busy celebrating in Italy.
Well, I mean, if he's celebrating with hockey players, I've got some theories on why he wasn't. Anyway.
Oh my God. Wait, are you saying he's the next heated rivalry? Yuck.
Next up, Mr. Neurotic Pants. Are MSU games just shitty to watch until the last 7 minutes?
Yes. Listen, what are you, new?
Actually,
come on.
I think the last 7 minutes are sometimes the worst of it.
Often the worst played minutes, but certainly the most impactful. I don't know the last time I watched a full basketball game. I don't have the constitution to do it any longer. I know I'm not strong enough, and I want to get to my 60th birthday. So I often will only watch bits and pieces of the game, usually around the hot spots. And the last 7 are certainly some of the hottest spots. Next up from Mr. Michael is the thrown fist Izzo gesture. I like this. An Italianism or an Izzoism? That's good.
That's an Izzoism.
All right, Izzoism. That's good.
Plum, does MSU have a strategy besides just wear them out?
That's actually, I'm actually trying to think about that. I don't think that's a serious question, but I'm trying to take it seriously, and I don't know the answer to it.
At times it seems that way.
I mean, sometimes it absolutely. I mean, Izzo often has a strategy. I don't know that I know what it always is. I don't know that he always does either. But I think in terms of the way strategies go, just wear them out is not a bad one. You know, I mean, when they can't miss, like happened last week, that's an oops. But you know, that doesn't happen every time. So
yeah, we're 22-5. If that's the strategy, it's working.
Yeah, I would say that's right.
Next up, Beth Amaro. Olympics parting shot, Plum. Canada is rivaling U of M for the gold medal and being both the worst winners and the worst losers on the planet. Takes a special talent. Canucks, you can do better.
I want to know what Momopoly thinks about that sentiment. Beth, listen, I didn't see the reference. I certainly know the worst winners. I mean, the cheating Canadian hogline guy was a real doofus and didn't like any of that. But I will, and I don't know about worst losers comment. So I will just, but let me just say, I'm just thinking back to women's hockey because again I watched a lot of it. Having to suffer the indignity of being paraded out, lined up, handed your silver medal, which, you know, a silver medal is a big deal, but they don't care about a silver medal because they didn't win. They just lost. And like the silver medal, and those kinds of games, the silver medal has to be the worst.
Yeah.
I would just think by comparison, like figure skating, you know, I don't know, luge, like silver medal, you're like, fuck, I got a fucking silver medal. Oh my God. You know, like that's a fucking achievement.
Compete against somebody. Right.
Right. But you just lost the gate. You've been playing your heart. Like it's a different kind of indignity. And like you're actually the bronze and the gold are the happy ones. The silver is just like a fucking loser. Silver should probably be bronze if we're being honest. Just on the
silver is
energy.
the chair in the corner of the Holiday Inn.
It's not where you you really went there, and I appreciate it. But let me just say this. After getting the silver medal, then they had to stand while some other fucking Nimrod comes out with a plate full of stuffed toys, fucking plushies. And they get like these stuffed plushy toys. And these poor women just look miserable because they know they're supposed to be smiling. But what indignity is this? Just move on so we can stand and listen to O Canada and get the fuck off the ice so we can go have some J.B. Wisner's whatever the fuck whiskey. That's the whiskey distillery across the border here in Windsor. And, you know, off they go and let the Americans have their time in the sun. So I don't know. I can't say anything else other than I felt badly for the kind of loser they were being asked to be because that would be no one's favorite.
Smooth as knives. Next up, I knew you'd appreciate that. Next up from Beth Amaro, who's going to cost Greg more sleep these next couple weeks? Adorable baby Grooch or the rest of the Spartan schedule?
It's got to be the Spartan schedule. I don't think he's even doing any kind of child rearing. I would assume that his long-suffering wife is really fucked right now.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's using his height to keep that baby at arm's length.
Arm's length is a good thing. That's a good thing.
Next up, Beth Amaro. Plum, what happened to Kate Wall? I miss her questions, and your DEI metrics appear to be tanking.
Listen, Beth, this is Trump's America. We are not allowed. Spotify won't even register DEI. Nothing about any kind of demographic. We get a white men, and then we get everybody else. So we have no clue how that's working. Kate, I don't know. Kate Wall, can you hear us?
Yeah, we miss Kate. We loved having Kate on the show.
Loved Kate having, we loved having a lot of people. I got to say, this is true. I don't think we had any questions this week from Twitter.
We had 2.
That's a good thing. Oh, we had 2. Okay. Well, but generally, I mean, the world has changed. And so this idea that, the way we used to engage with, and by the way, if Kate's still on Twitter and not engaging with us there, that's totally fine. No judgment on the people that are still on Twitter. We don't give a fuck. I just mean we're not really utilizing it as much because it is a cesspool of awful chatbots and awful tomfoolery. And I got to say, by the by, we talked about this last week, I think, or the week before, maybe last time when Gooch was here. Bluesky, it's like an echo chamber of progressive thought. So I would take this moment while you're doing that to just say, I just got a subscription to the Wall Street Journal. And I have to say, I appreciate it a lot. More than I should. Times and Wall Street Journal, they kind of hold each other in check a little bit.
More of a Financial Times in their orange paper. Mama believes in the chat, by the way. And
I saw it. Come on, let's have it. Let's have it, Susan. Give it to us.
I'm going to interject this here from because I don't want people to think that we're ignoring it. Mad Dog Go Blue, who has been a consistent listener from the school down the road,
way back.
But I think it's quasi-hate listen. Anyway, wants to know if your Spartans don't make the Elite Eight, is the season a failure? I don't think we measure things that way.
I don't know if we do either. I don't think about it in that way. I guess if you're asking me personally today, I wouldn't be happy. I mean, but I'm rarely happy.
I think either it's a failure because we didn't make a Final Four, and that's just the standard, or
that's good.
Or
that's good. It's a good answer.
Or every season is just a little bit different, and some like when you go to enough tournaments, that there's a lot of luck and things happen, and so the team that lost to Middle Tennessee State, or the Appling's wrist injury, there's just stuff.
All things
happens.
If Appling's wrist injury doesn't happen, he probably doesn't shoot and murder his uncle. That's the other thing that we have to bear in mind. Okay. There's probably a line there. So
all right. Next up is Thomas Zambiasi, who submitted via email. I got it at the last second here because I forgot.
Thomas, come through. We need to get him our fax number too.
Yeah, well,
we do take faxes.
I will just remind people that they can submit at can'tread.can'twrite1855@gmail.com. Thank you, Jason Fry, for hooking this up. Also, I love that that Gmail is suggesting, got him. Thanks, bud. Hope you're doing well. -Grooch as the auto reply on this.
Awesome.
The AI is coming for us. Anyway,
fucking
Thomas,
great.
Am I coping about men's basketball playing at such a slow tempo, or is Izzo pivoting to slow Wisconsin-style defensive games going into March to maximize the team's talents? We did just discuss we're number 2 in the country in fast break points.
Yeah, so I don't know how those jibe, but listen, eye test. Thomas might be seeing something that we haven't quite caught on.
We'll have to ask our AI overlords about this.
That's good. They won't lie. They can't.
And
last up from Thomas.
They can't lie, but they can make things up.
Then they're very good at that. Actually, better than I am. Thomas asks Michael, last question. Among hockey and men's and women's hoops, which MSU team is most likely to meet their season expectations?
Oh, and who's most likely to miss?
And who's most likely to miss?
I think hockey is most likely to miss.
Hockey is most likely to miss. Oh, to miss?
Yeah, because it's a single elimination tournament in a game that is decided by usually like a point or two. Always, I mean,
so you're going statistics, not like raw emotion, gut check, performance.
But also this team, the hockey team, has put together 2 fantastic seasons prior to this where they won the Big Ten back-to-back. They won the Big Ten tournament. Like, they went into the last year's NCAA tournament with a great seed and then pooped the bed. So, and then you bring in 15, you have 15 pros on this team. Like, so what are your expectations at this point in time?
Fair.
Like, you've done the fun stuff. Now go win it.
Now you have to win the whole thing.
And I think for that sport in particular, they're most likely to miss.
All right, that's it. So then I'm going to say the most likely to meet their expectations are the women's basketball because I don't remember them having any, and therefore
they're doing great.
They're doing great. So well done them. Yep. Next up, Monopoly. This is going to be fun. This will be a good fucking time here. Already right off the gate with some heat. Michael, how silly did you feel last Monday night when you mentioned that you record every Sunday night at 9 p.m.?
Did I say every?
And it might have been me. It might have been one of us. And I don't know that we
or
said
usually
that exactly.
or but it doesn't matter. Who cares? I don't care, Susan. I didn't
timestamp, please.
I didn't feel silly. Yeah, you can. You know what you can do, Susan? You can go onto YouTube.com, create an account, subscribe to our channel, and then you can clip a short of it and you can remix over it and publish it. That'd be great. We'll even tweeter it out for you if you do that, Susan. Next up, Alex Plum from Momopoly. Do you agree with Izzo when he says that 90% of the deals are done by the time the transfer portal opens? And is Draymond Green his favorite player that he's coached? Did I pronounce it?
Green might be his favorite, but I don't know who his favorite is. So we'll leave that one as an open question. And I'm 100% confident that he's absolutely right. It's probably higher than 90% of the deals are done by the time the portal opens.
And it's Martinez, his favorite player. He named his son after him.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. No, I think it's higher than 90% even. I mean, it has to be.
Yeah.
These guys, they can't. Like, it's theatrics, it's absurdity, it's stupid, it's a game, it's attention seeking, it's getting the hats and the table and the eyeballs. Okay. Upper Deck Jerk Guy, Michael, oh shit, am I too late? No, you're not. Next, have you ever tampered with another team's players?
No, but that sounds fun. We do have some experience pranking. So,
in fact,
we could tamper. We could be tampers. Something to be considered. And then we also could offer someone probably a whole $1 if they wanted to come onto this podcast once a week, so long as they left their school.
Yes, 1,000%.
Now, last up from Upper Deck Jerk Guy, how would you get the team to get off to a faster start?
I don't know. A gun?
Threats of violence?
Toasters?
Toasters in the cold tub. Toasters in the cold tub would probably do the trick.
I'll do it every time. A little homicidal in the episode, but that's fine. Everyone loves it.
Everyone does love it. Plum, it's been great to see you. Another happy week. And look, we went 2-0, and we did that without Greg. So that means
not needed at all.
Yep. If we go 2-0 again this week, he's not welcome back. Everyone, you've listened to Can't Read Right? Go Green.
Go White.